Despite being Australia's second smallest state, Victoria is home to a quarter of the country, with the state capital of Melbourne soon expected to overtake Sydney as the nation's most populous city. A centre of business, sport, culture, and cuisine, the fact that so many people want to call Victoria home shouldn't be a surprise. But with the large crush of people descending on the state, and Melbourne in particular, local property prices have grown high and in recent years have experienced serious volatility. There is, however, a way to avoid the sky-high prices, the volatility, and the competition for space. House and land packages, particularly those in developments away from Melbourne's expensive and cramped city centre, offer buyers a safe, secure, and cost-effective way to enter the Victorian property market, while also offering a high quality of life in a brand new home. The reasons to live in Victoria are many and varied. But if you are looking to invest in property in the area, could a house and land package be right for you? Why buy in Victoria? Let's first take a look at the state of Victoria itself, and what you can expect if you do decide to invest in property there. The people. Victoria has a population of 6.5 million, although Melbourne alone accounts for over 5 million of those, making Victoria comfortably Australia's most urbanised state. 72% of Victorians were born in Australia, but this figure varies greatly depending on whether you're talking about Melbourne, 66%, or the state's regional areas, 95%. The average age of Victorians has been creeping up in recent decades, from 35 in 2001 to 37 today, reflecting the broader ageing trends of the Australian population. It is expected that in 2021, a full quarter of Victorians will be aged 60 or above. In recent years, Victorians have also experienced some of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, with just 4.9% of the population currently out of work. The lifestyle. There's a reason that Melbourne is continually voted the world's most livable city. Victoria is a state that is safe yet exciting, compact yet spacious, familiar yet diverse. Melbourne is often called Australia's capital of sport, being the birthplace of Australian rules football and Test cricket, and hosting the Australian Open and the country's first Olympic Games. The city is also seen as a hub of arts and culture, being home to a number of world-famous galleries, museums, and festivals. The perks of compactness mean that Victoria boasts perhaps the best public transport network in any Australian state. Melbourne's impressive network of buses, trams, and trains helps to make even long daily commutes a breeze, while many of the regional centres and major satellite suburbs have some form of express transport service to the Melbourne CBD. Victoria enjoys some of the lowest crime rates of all Australian states, making it a particularly popular place to live for young families. Healthcare and education options are also plentiful, with many foreigners making the trip to Victoria specifically to take advantage of these services. But there are many other reasons to visit Victoria. Locals have the opportunity to play tourist in their own backyard, visiting the snowfields of Falls Creek, the beaches of Torquay, the fruit-growing regions of the Murray River, or the rugged natural expanses of the Grampians. The property. If you had to use one word to describe the Victorian property market, it'd be growth. With so many people moving to Victoria, and in particular Melbourne, both the amount of properties and the value of these properties has grown exponentially in recent decades. This growth has occurred from the centre of Melbourne out, and is now touching towns up to 2 hours away from the city, as buyers look for affordable property that is still within striking distance of the Melbourne CBD. Consider once separate townships like Mornington in the south or Bacchus Marsh in the west, which have now become part of the urban landscape despite being up to a 1.5 hour drive from the CBD. Many people are choosing to live in major regional centres like Geelong and Ballarat, which are a similar distance, and because of infrastructure investments, often a quicker ride from the centre of Melbourne. When you look at the data, the effect that this endless expansion has had on nearby towns and satellite suburbs is plain to see. Average house prices in Geelong rose from $460,000 to $700,000 between 2011 and 2019. They rose from $300,000 to $500,000 in Ballarat Central, and from $520,000 to $800,000 in Mornington in the same period. And even these elevated prices are still perfectly affordable when compared to the house prices of inner Melbourne suburbs, which commonly hit the $1.5 million mark. But while property prices in established Victorian towns and outer suburbs are growing fast, there is a more affordable option: house and land packages in new communities. Lacking a reputation and often being located on undeveloped land on the suburban fringe, properties in these developments can be priced below $400,000 for a brand new 3-bedroom home on a healthy parcel of land. House and Land Packages Victoria. House and land packages offer current or new residents of Victoria a beautiful and cost-effective way to enter the local property market. You get a brand new home, often on a generous portion of land, and all at a price you can afford. A number of Victorian regions have become a focus for developers in recent years. Let's take a look at a few of the most popular areas and the major developments within each. West of Melbourne. Perhaps the area with the greatest amount of development activity today. The land between Werribee and Buckus Marsh is still surprisingly open, particularly when you consider how close it is to Melbourne CBD in comparison to the city's more developed east. Thornhill Park Estate, Rockbank. Promising to balance big city convenience with openness and nature, Thornhill Park Estate sits just east of the suburb of Melton, a quick and easy 40-minute drive to and from the CBD. 3-bedroom properties start at just $350,000. Majesty Estate, Plumpton. Majesty Estate is the newest of a number of developments in the Plumpton region. Along with the perks of CBD access and fresh country air, the benefit of being in a later development is that Plumpton already boasts a good level of established amenities. Generous house and land packages start at $450,000. Soho Marigold, Tarneit. A boutique selection of just 7 eye-catching homes. Soho Marigold is a development for those that enjoy the finer things in life. And happily for buyers, this new community offers luxury at a perfectly reasonable price. Accolade, Rockbank. A development designed with families in mind. Accolade is defined by its clever design, where greenery and shared spaces don't get in the way of convenience and amenity. A 3-bedroom house on a 260 square metre block can be secured for less than $400,000. North of Melbourne. Formerly grazing land, the area north of Craigieburn, including Wollert, Beveridge, and Wallan, has recently been identified as a fantastic opportunity by developers and offers some of the best value in Melbourne. Acacia Village, Wollert. Just 25 kilometres north of the CBD, it's fair to say that Wollert can no longer be called a satellite suburb. And this enviable location, along with fast improving infrastructure and amenity levels, has seen interest in the suburb soar of late. Acacia Village is one of the preeminent developments in this high-growth corridor, with house and land packages starting at $500,000. Timburra, Beveridge. Located 45 kilometres north of the CBD, Beveridge is all rolling hills and surprisingly open pastures. With 270 sites from 222 metres squared to a huge 677 metres squared, the Timburra development seeks to bring a bit of city convenience to this slice of the country, with 4-bedroom homes available for under $500,000. Wallanbrae, Wallan. With Melbourne a 45-minute drive south and the regional centre of Kilmore just 10 minutes north, Wallan is perfectly placed to offer its residents both the charms of the country and the comforts of the city. And the Wallanbrae community perfectly encapsulates this balance, with homes available for $400,000. Mayfair Park, Greenvale. Leafy Greenvale is set to become one of North Melbourne's most exclusive suburbs, with the Mayfair Park community bringing serious class to an area already replete with schools, shopping, recreation, and public transport. House and land packages start at $530,000. Geelong and surrounds. An hour and 15 in the car, or less than an hour by train, Geelong's proximity to the Melbourne CBD has always been a big selling point. But having grown into a destination all its own, nearby townships like Torquay, Leopold, Armstrong Creek, and Bellarine are now riding Geelong's coattails. Key to Torquay. Port Phillip Bay isn't known for its swell, but lovers of surf needn't fret. You can still get your fix while staying within striking distance of Geelong, and by extension, Melbourne. The Key 2 community in the famed surf town of Torquay offers perfectly beachy house and land packages for as little as $600,000. Allure, Leopold. The Geelong area's newest premium address. Allure Leopold dances on the edge of Lake Conyware, and offers its residents a life amongst the incredible natural beauty of the area. But modern life is still perfectly accessible, with the Geelong CBD just a 15-minute drive away. Jetty North, Bellarine. 80 lots located on an elevated parcel of land means that residents of Jetty North in Bellarine are afforded unobstructed views of the surrounding water, with the glimmer of Melbourne shining over Port Phillip Bay on a clear night. Happily, such beauty doesn't cost the world, with house and land packages starting at less than $500,000. Watermark, Armstrong Creek. Just 10 minutes from the Geelong CBD and 15 minutes from the surf and sand of the coastal township to the south, Watermark at Armstrong Creek offers all the ingredients for a happy life. What's more, you can secure a house and land package for as little as $470,000 in this enviable spot. Southeast Melbourne. A number of new communities have recently popped up in the area south of Dandenong, with many utilising land reclaimed from industry. It's here that you'll find some of the most suburban developments in Melbourne, with levels of service and infrastructure levels that other new communities may initially lack. Everleigh, Keysborough. Family-friendly, convenient, and featuring beautiful park frontage, Everleigh is a townhouse development designed to offer perfectly modern city living. Located just a 40-minute drive from the centre of Melbourne, the expertly designed architecture and layout makes this a stunning, as well as surprisingly affordable place to be. Prices start at $555,000. Nelson Place, Casey Fields. An allotment situated between the Casey Fields Sporting Complex and the Royal Botanic Gardens, Cranbourne. Nelson Place boasts some seriously green credentials, and with house and land packages starting at $460,000, what's not to like? Circa 1886, Clyde North. A master plan of over 500 lots. House and land sales in circa 1886 are now down to the last stages. And there's a reason for the development's popularity. Location, convenience, safety, and beauty combine in particularly affordable packages, as low as $450,000 for 3 bedrooms. Altius at Cardinia, Pakenham. Generous lots measuring a minimum of 322 metres squared. Easy freeway access for a convenient journey into the Melbourne CBD. A growing town precinct offering all that you'll ever need, including schools, shopping, parks, and health providers. The popularity of Pakenham's Altius development perhaps shouldn't have been a surprise. South Gippsland. South Gippsland is the ideal location for anyone who craves fresh country air, but who also needs occasional access to the big city. While developers are yet to fully focus on this area, development looks likely to be centred on the townships of Korumburra and Leongatha, both of which are situated less than 2 hours' drive from the Melbourne CBD. Leongatha. As the hub of the region, Leongatha is the natural place to develop a new community in South Gippsland. Access to the South Gippsland Highway means that the CBD of Melbourne is less than a 2-hour drive away, while popular weekend spots like Wilson's Promontory and Phillip Island are right there on your doorstep. Korumburra. 15 minutes closer to Melbourne, Korumburra is an ideal home for anyone who appreciates country living, but who also may only need to head into the city from time to time. Property buyers can expect to get incredible package prices in the area, and the value of their property will only go up as the City of Melbourne continues to expand. Should I buy a house and land package in Victoria? In a volatile and unpredictable property market, house and land packages in Victoria offer enviable value, stability, and growth. There's no better way to enter the Victorian property market for anyone looking to buy a brand new home to call their own. Cost-effective, built to your needs, and located in carefully thought out communities. Choosing the right community and package for you will require a little bit of homework. You'll need to weigh up a number of factors, including budget, location, and local amenities. Happily for investors, there are a wealth of house and land options in Victoria. Once you understand what it is you're looking for, you're more than likely to find a home that fits the bill. Why not start searching today?